Hi everyone, I just thought I would pop on and talk to you about ways in which we can support a effective transition for children with SEND. So I've recently recorded a podcast with Sarah, the EYFS Voice Note podcast, and we talked very briefly about how we can effectively share information about children with SEND and ways in which we can really support them to feel settled within their new environment. Now, I tend to avoid template heavy pro formas or lots of different documents to share information. Sometimes it really is just about sharing those headlines so that the child has the best chance of feeling settled, safe and secure, and forming a connection with their new teacher and their new key person or teaching assistants. And so I talked about something called the headlines, and the headlines is essentially the most important information, and it is giving the child a voice, particularly if they have a special educational need which limits their communication. So if they aren't able to share their needs, their interests and their feelings, then you can do this on the child's behalf. Now, I often say to people, you can do something as simple as a spider diagram or a mind map, and it's thinking about what information can this new teacher use to build that connection. So this is just an example. The pictures are just stock pictures. So this is a fictitious child, but I've used actual real anecdotal information from children that I've worked with. And the question here is what works well for the child. So the child is Claire, and this is a picture of Claire with her friend Lizzie. I'm going to go through each of the sections of the headlines and give you examples of why this is helpful for the new teacher. So on the form, what is working well? So Claire has a key person currently called Daniel, who will most likely be supporting the transition, and he's very important to Claire. He's an adult that knows her personality, and knowing about Claire is essential to building that bond. Daniel is there for Claire, so he is a close trusted other, and he helps Claire to do things for herself. So the reason I've put that in there is because often when we have children with SEND, we can talk about one-to-one care for children, and we usually find that the point is missed is that a one-to-one or a higher adult to child ratio is so that the child is taught to do things for themselves, not so that they're fully dependent on just one person. And so as a key person, Daniel has spent his time supporting Claire to be able to find ways to manage her own feelings and behaviour, to communicate her own needs. Yes, she still needs support, but it's all about giving that child as much independence as they can possibly have. And so at the bottom here, you've got self-care. A big part of transitioning to school is being able to independently manage your own needs. But we know with children, sometimes they're just not there yet, whether they've got SEN or not. And so for Claire, she's not yet toilet trained, but she does indicate a need to go to the toilet. It may have also been useful there to state how she indicates that need. So does she pull at her pants? Does she go and stand near the toilet? Does she pull at a key person to take her to the toilet? Does she dance around? And so there are many ways in which children will indicate that they need to go to the toilet. And Claire currently uses a visual, so you need to provide this for her when she goes into reception. Claire can eat independently, but she does not like to have foods mixed on her plate. So again, if she goes into reception, she goes down to the school hall for the first time and she has mixed food, that might initiate very uncomfortable feelings, and she may behave in certain ways to show her displeasure at that. And so the reception teacher knowing this means that she can then prepare for that going forward. And then sometimes she still likes to sleep during the day, particularly if she's used up lots of energy and she has her own blanket. It's vitally important that if you have a child that has a transitional object, that goes with them into school. It is absolutely fine for reception-age children to still use a transitional object if it helps them to feel safe and secure. Claire gets agitated by different smells, and so it's important that the school knows the types of smells that can agitate her, because again, that might create some behaviours that are difficult to support. Mummy will provide a transitional object, and that can be used when she's in reception. So you can see straight away the self-care element is giving the reception teacher knowledge about how to meet her needs once she goes into school. Up in the top corner, we've got that Claire likes to work in smaller groups. So often when you go into reception, you are sometimes thrown in at the deep end of large group assemblies. You might be engaging in carpet times. And so for some children, this is just far too much. So Claire prefers to be around smaller groups of children, and that helps her to form friendships, which is important to many children. But for Claire, who struggles with verbal communication, that might be harder. And so as a reception teacher, she knows that she might need to do some one-to-one work with Claire and introducing another child so that she's developing those early social skills. Claire also needs places to retreat during the day. She doesn't like loud noises, bright lights, and lots of children. This can be very scary for her. So for many children with special educational needs, visual noise and loud environments can be really upsetting. And if she's scared, you will know about it because she will usually throw herself onto the floor or she will bite another child or adult. Now, what's really important here is that behaviour is a communication, and within this transitional document, the key person has made a specific point of saying that is my way of asking for help. So it's not my way of being naughty, or it's not a misbehaviour, it's a communication for help. And so the reception teacher can preempt and plan for these things. Claire has been engaging in the intervention, the attention bucket, and it's one of her favourite activities. If you are interested in finding more out about the attention bucket, you can go onto the Jeanette Davis website. But here, this is an intervention that's being used with Claire, and she enjoys it, and she knows that it's going to be happening because she has a visual timetable. So as a key person, Daniel will transition that visual timetable. And so the benefits of the attention autism or the attention bucket is that she can now hold her attention for 3 minutes, and the use of attention grabbers are really beneficial for Claire. So the reception teacher can ensure that she incorporates attention grabbing activities and experiences, which further helps with Claire's attention. Claire will scratch herself or pull her hair when noises are too loud. She has noise cancelling headphones, which means that she can block out overwhelming sounds. So for the teacher, she might decide that there's going to be a particular little box for Claire, like a calm down box where all those little items such as attention grabbers or fidget items, so that Claire can actually choose to access them herself, giving her that real important sense of independence. And to pay attention to adults, she does need a fidget toy. So if she's sitting in a circle time, for example, it's not that she's fidgeting in a negative way. She's using that as a way to concentrate, and it will help her to focus. And then finally, when she gets sad and she can't finish things, Claire gets quite upset. And so the key person, Daniel, has highlighted that backwards chaining, which is a specific special educational need strategy, helps her to achieve her goals. So if you give Claire, for example, 5 instructions, she's going to struggle with that. So it might be that the teacher completes the first 4 and Claire completes the last step in a sequence so that she feels that sense of achievement. Again, it really gives that sense of security and well-being for the child. And once Claire has achieved something, she really loves to high-five others. So making sure that you give her a big high five so that she knows that she's done well. So hopefully what you can see from this is it is the most crucial information to help Claire settle, and it doesn't require you to go into great detail, but when you've been working with a child for such a long period of time, you will know all those intricate pieces of information, and often we can assume that in others, but giving this to a reception teacher is really going to get them started on the right platform. I hope this has been helpful. You might also like to check out the one-page profiles, which are really good for children with SEND. So this is an example from the Developmental Journal website, and it's just talking about what's important to me and what good support for me looks like. So you can get blank examples of this online as well. If you've got any questions about transition, please do send me a message, and I'd be happy to share more information. Thank you.